seeing you perform, so I don't know when did you quit?
Well, let's see. I started probably it was spring of '74.
Okay.
It was the first time I started doing it.
And how did you get started?
Just wanted, because I've done theater.
Yeah.
I've done community theater, and I was fascinated by it, and I wanted to see what I would look like, which the first time I did it wasn't too good, and just to me it was a theatrical experience. Mm-hmm. And so a friend of mine or a friend of ours, I had a partner at the time that he came over and I just tried it.
Yeah.
And they were both like, "Oh my God, you look so good. There's a contest over at the Red Bull. You need to go enter it." And I was like, no. And I knew my partner at the time had done drag before.
Yeah.
So he said, I said, "I'll do it if you'll do it." And he said, "Okay." And his stage name was Rachel Winters.
Oh, Rachel Winters. Okay, and this was 1974.
Probably spring of '74. Gary and I got together in '72, and it wasn't the following spring, so it would have been spring of '74.
The Sex Incorporated created an award in Rachel Winters' name, I believe.
Right. Yeah. He passed away. He was 33. Had Hodgkin's, and it took him. He was 33, and that was in '83.
Okay.
So, but him and I went over to the Red Bull and entered the Valentine's contest they had there at the bar. Mm-hmm. And that's when the Red Bull was down in the basement. And
this was Red Bull 1 or Red Bull 2?
I believe it was Red Bull 2, because I think 1, the showroom was upstairs.
Okay, that's right.
And this one, it was downstairs.
Okay.
So I think this was the second Red Bull. And we entered the contest, and I came in second. Mm-hmm. And that kind of encouraged me. So kind of changed. I had done country western, and I think some Brenda Lee song. I don't even remember what it was. Yeah. Went back the next month, changed my image a little bit for the St. Patrick's Day pageant. Mm-hmm. And I did Nancy Sinatra's Hard-Hearted Hannah.
Okay.
And I won.
Yeah.
And Donna Dragg, who ran the show at the time, she thought I was really good, but she said you need to get some experience, and she recommended going to Charlie's Lounge, which was over here on 6th and Delmar, I believe.
There by the bus
market.
Right.
There by the, it's now Drury Inn.
Right.
But it's across the street from the farmer's market.
But the bus stop was down there, right? Or bus station?
It wasn't too far from the Greyhound station.
And that was owned by Lady Charles? Or run by Lady Charles?
Yes.
Okay.
And Charlie had Tuesday, they did shows on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Tuesday night was just open night. Anybody could go in and do a show, or, do a couple of numbers. Gary and I started going down on Tuesday nights. That's how we met Miss Tracy.
Okay.
Because he pretty much ran the show on Tuesday night. And after several weeks, we did a weekend, and that's when I met Miss Candy. Candy only worked on Saturday night. Right. Because being a hairdresser, he didn't work Friday night because he had to get up early in the morning. So he only worked Saturday night. So we went down, did a weekend, and I guess we kept going on Tuesday nights, and it was probably after about 3 months, Charlie just asked us if we'd be regulars. Yeah. And so we worked 3 nights a week for about a year and a half.
Now, did Lady Charles, did he, his name was Charlie Davis or something?
Oh man, I don't remember what Charlie's last name was.
I have the name at home, but I was curious, did he live predominantly as a woman?
No,
okay.
No. He was, he occasionally would get into drag and do a couple of numbers on
Okay.
the weekend, but no, he did not.
Okay.
That was Bonnie Blake. Bonnie Blake was rarely out of drag. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen Bonnie Blake out of drag.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Bonnie Blake's still with us or not.
Yeah, Bonnie is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Actually, Jimmy Hawkins, who owned Red Bull with Jerry Edwards, is coming into town later this month, and we're going to sit down with Bonnie and go through the pictures and stuff.
Cool.
I worked on Bonnie for 6 months and couldn't get anywhere, and then finally I said, you're going to have to help me out here. and so now I've got an audience with Bonnie Blake. So.
Well, wonderful. No, Lady Charles would do a show once in a while. I do have a picture of Lady Charles when they did the Drag Awards.
What were those?
He was at. They did it. I'm not really sure who organized it, but they did them, I guess, for several years. It was the Singles Drag Awards, and they would award, like for best show bar, best.
I wish they'd bring those back. Wow,
I know.
You all had. I mean,
it was great fun.
Yeah, it's in getting into this history, it is just undeniable the link between the female impersonation community and the advancement of gay rights. I mean, our first gay rights organization happened when 9 drag queens were arrested outside of the Onyx Room on Halloween in 1969.
Mm-hmm. And that's the first gay bar I ever went into.
Yeah,
it was the Onyx Room.
Was it?
Yep. Yeah. I remember it dearly.
And what was that gay district like there around Olive and Grand?
Actually, the only 2 places I was aware of there was the Onyx Room and
the Golden Gate. Down
the street, a few doors, was the Golden Gate, and that was an after hours. It was a juice bar.
Okay.
The only 2 I'd ever been in.
And then as you go further, if you went across Grand and into Olive, then you'd hit Peyton Place there in the Gaslight Square area, or?
I think so, but I never ventured out that way.
Yeah, because I don't know how.
When I first started going to the Onyx Room, I was still married.
Okay.
And so, a friend of mine, the one that got me started doing drag, he's the one that introduced me to the Onyx Room. I worked with him, and he's the one that introduced me to the Onyx Room. I didn't even know there was a gay community in St. Louis at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, there was Martin's down here on Tucker.
Right, there were 3 incarnations of Martin's, I think.
I know there was the one down here on Tucker.
They ended up at Union Station.
The one at Union Station, and I performed there.
Yeah.
That's where the pictures you sent me were from Martin's VIP.
Yeah, I tell you, boy, that sounds like the pinnacle of St. Louis gay
Martin's
life.
was a cool place.
The pre-AIDS era.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And, I mean, that's just the pinnacle of it. I mean, wow. You had Herbie's, the disco, and then Martin's.
You had Herbie's.
And then Faces. Going
Faces
strong.
On the other side. You had. Then you had. Oh Lord! And I haven't thought about some of these places. There was one over on. Right off of Van de Venner on. Oh man, I can't even think of the name of the street. I used to live over that way. It was a kind of a country western theme. They had a great patio out back.
Yeah.
And the name won't come to me right now, but maybe it will in a few minutes.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite. And we used to go over there. Oh my God, on a Saturday afternoon, a bunch of us would meet over there and we'd play cards out on the patio and just get ripped.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, it's 5. We now all need to go get something to eat, take a nap, and many times I went home and just collapsed and didn't wake up until Sunday morning, missed Saturday night altogether.
Right.
But the places that I did shows was Charlie's Lounge, and then I started doing some guest shots at the Red Bull, and then
what about Schrader's? Is that
I think I did a show at Schrader's once.
Yeah. Was that like not desirable to put it with Helen's Nonsense, or I heard she was a real pistol?
Well, and it was more of a lesbian bar.
Okay, was it? Okay.
And
because I thought PK's was a lesbian bar for some reason, I guess.
I think that one was too.
Okay.
And there was the Kit Kat Club somewhere in South City.
Yeah,
I have no
they're in
idea.
California, I think.
I went in there once, and that terrified me.
Yeah. Well, men and women didn't mix back then.
Not
so
really,
much.
and it wasn't so much the men as it was the women. And then of course, I did shows over at Faces when they moved from the Red Bull into the new building and became Faces. And then at the VIP room at Martin's.
Okay, great. And you, how many years did you? What was the first year you competed at Miss Missouri? Do you remember?
Oh Lord, I have no idea. I think I competed maybe 4 or 5 times.
Okay. Now, when you got First Alternate to Melinda Ryder, was that the last time you competed, or did you?
No. Actually, the last time I competed was at Casaloma Ballroom. That probably would have been...
That was 86, the year Zsa won.
86.
Yeah,
Yeah, the year Zsa won. That was the last time I competed in the Miss. Of them that are gone now, you know. Well, Zsa is gone.
Yeah.
Christy Cole's gone. Several of the Miss Americas are gone.
Yeah.
That year that we did it at the Casaloma, Naomi Sims was Miss America, and I think she's gone now too.
Yeah, she is.
So there's just so many of them that are gone. I always looked at doing drag as a theatrical experience.
Right.
It was never any great because it's not comfortable. Trust me.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The most uncomfortable thing you can do because you're putting body parts where they're not supposed to be.
Right. Yeah.
And but I enjoyed it as a theatrical experience more than anything else.
Yeah.
And then I also performed at Monte's when it was down on Jefferson in 44, where the
McDonald's is now.
McDonald's is now.
Okay, yeah.
Did
Great.
quite a few shows there.
Wonderful. What do you know what happened to Donna Drag and Lana Kuntz? They really intrigued me. The idea that they're twins. They both kind of started drag around here, but then they just disappeared.
I really don't know what happened to them. Now, I was talking to Donna Crane. She said she thought they both became ministers with the MCC.
Yeah, I know Claire Sheridan's down there as a minister now.
Here, or I know
down
she's
in Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yeah,
yeah. And I hadn't heard that about Lana and Donna, so.
Donna told me. I had not heard anything about them for years. I didn't even know if they were still alive.
I do know. I found them in the Social Security death index. I know they both died in '93 within a month of each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But that happens with twins.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess they followed each other. They were pretty tight, I would imagine.
I think they were very, very close. They weren't identical twins.
Right.
They were fraternal twins.
Yeah.
But I know when Donna had the show at the Red Bull, when I first started going over there, it was Donna Drag, Lana Kuntz, Julie Tomorrow, and Claire Sheridan.
Tell me about Julie Tomorrow. She's another one that's kind of fallen a little bit.
Julie Tomorrow was the first Miss Gay Missouri. She was high camp drag.
Yeah.
And wonderful.